see the last of the Empire, and Kenner's there with Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
I'm off to rescue R2-D2.
Y-Wing Fighter, you have to put it together. Batteries not included. Action figures each sold separately.
Activate laser cannon. Ready, aim. On target. Luke Skywalker to base work. Coming in.
Y-Wing Fighter, action figures sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
Ghost Town Toys. Hi, welcome to the very first episode of Ghost Town Toys. In this series, I will be talking about vintage toys, maybe repairing some. Like, for instance, I got this from my friend at Toy Fusion in Sacramento, California, so if you're ever there, check out Toy Fusion if you like vintage toys. It's a great place. But anyway, I bought this for $10. And that's a pretty good price. You know, usually this is going from $20 to $30 for just the core of this thing right here. This is the Y-Wing from Star Wars. This is the vintage one from 1983. I believe that's when they made that. But this I just bought from him from $10. You can see it is, well, maybe. If you've never seen one, you can't see. But if you have, you can see it's missing a cockpit door, a canopy top, and the glass. There is a gun on the top here that's missing. It's missing the engines. There's a whole thing. Right on the bottom here, you can see there's a bomb. There's a bomb. That thing works though. Look, that thing works. So, but there's no bomb attached. And then the leg was the common thing is that it breaks. So we'd get like these to work here. Oh yeah, that's right. See this little thing right here? You slide that up, and you can get your leg in there and roll down like that. But the front was broken. It's a typical thing. But I think what I first did was to try to get it to work. There was nothing, of course, but I had to open up this. Very first thing to check. Always check for batteries, power. But be careful because these things over time get very loose. So you have to be careful opening this thing. Be very gentle with it. I don't want to break it. All right? So I know the first thing, when I opened this up, I've cleaned them already, but this was really corroded. It was green. So it wasn't getting any power, even with batteries in there. So I cleaned that up. And I put some batteries in. So let's get this thing on the work table. And I'll show you what I've done and got so far. So here we have the Y-Wing on the workbench. I'm going to put these batteries in and see if we can get the motor to work. So I've cleaned it out inside there. I actually had to take it apart. I will do that after we see what we got here. Show you what it looks like on the inside. So, you know what? Let's put this back on. Like so. Alright, let's see what we got. There it is. And that's the sound you got in 1983. Yeah, let's see inside. I can see right now. See this right here? It should be turning when you push this button. But it isn't. So we're going to have to take it apart to see what's inside. Oh. Which we'll have to take these 12 screws off. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've already removed the screws. But there's some hidden ones. So you see there's like 10 on this side. Then you flip it over and there's 2 more on this side. You take them all out. And then you gotta be careful. Let me set this guy down here. Careful, there's a little peg here. So I realized when I took this apart that my peg was already broken. I'll show you it. Oh, yeah, see right there? There's the peg broken off. So I knew somebody had already been inside. Here's the seat. We can remove that. And you can see right away that something's missing. Right when we get the motor to go. That turns, but that doesn't. There's an arm. I looked it up. Couldn't find it. I thought, I'll just buy a new piece. Couldn't find it anywhere. So I ended up having to make a piece here. Which I made out of some... this is wooden, carved down to size, some wooden posts. And this is some cardboard that I coated and painted. And, I found a picture online so I could get the right size. Let's see if we can get them in there just right. And it fits, look at that. And so now it should move, right? Here it goes. Saved a lot of money in that, making that. But, I would have spent money had I found it. Piece I couldn't find. Also, this piece right here, you can see I've already fixed it with some Lego parts. But it was missing these pegs here, which is why that front leg didn't work. Now that it's all apart, you can see how this works. See that moves forward and backward here, in there, and pushes those legs down and up. And there's these little pegs. Let me get this out. You can see it. I can show you. So, this piece here, you see, clips onto that. Alright, and you see, as this moves forward, it pushes the leg in and then down, which should work, but over time, it gets really loose. This plastic here gets loose. Sometimes they get jammed, and these pieces break off, which is what had happened to this piece. You can see in this other video I made that shows the piece there. But so anyway, I fixed this with some Lego, you can see. And it seems to work. I will get it in there and we'll test it together. I got some of these bands here, these orthodontic ones. They're like dental bands, and we'll put it on there and see. That'll help the tightness. And we'll see if we can get this thing to work. So we'll try this together, you and I. So we're going to need a screwdriver to get this off. Well, Phillips. Just take off this screw. And lift that whole thing out. Pop this off here. There it is. Just try to keep it together. It's easier to put back in that way. Oh yeah, there's a little wheel here. You can move them out. So landing gear, we'll get them down in there. There we go. Fits good. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, you know what? Gonna have to get it attached. Let's do that first. Nice and tight. Doesn't come off. We'll just do that off screen. There, see? Oh, it's much easier. I got them on the back here. All right, let's put this together and see what happens. So there's a hole here to line them up. Use one of these things. Just make sure everything's in the right place. When you close it. So that's right. All right. There, now we got it all together. Let's see what happens. Huh? Where do you see that? It works. And does it stand up? It's fixed. Now, I gotta screw it back together and put the other pieces on. Alright, so I got all the screws in, and let's see, everything still works on there, right? Landing gear. Yep. The little guy. Yep, we're good. It's all good. Now, the other pieces I got. You know, when I started researching this guy for the parts, I realized that in buying all of these parts, it will cost me more to rebuild it than if I just bought one that already had all the parts. So if you just want one that's finished, it's probably best to buy one that's finished. But if you want to build one, expect that you might pay more than it's worth to build it. But so I decided at that point that I might look for 3D printed parts, and I might make some parts, which is what I had to do for these two here that I couldn't find it all. Couldn't find this part, and I couldn't find that alarm. So I made those parts. The rest, I bought these. I found them cheap. I think $4 and $6. Bought them separately. You can see they're slightly different colors, but it doesn't matter. And these are supposedly vintage parts. They look like they are. They could be. And then they just fit on there like that. But, first I have to put these pieces on, which, when I looked up these pieces, I found them for like $12 each. Each one of these, which you need 8 of. So that's what, like $100 if I want to get a whole set of those vintage ones. So I found this set here for $10, which was much cheaper. You can kind of see the 3D printed. Yeah. But it's all right because it'll look nice all put together. So these pieces actually have to go on first. Like this. It's a nice fit, huh? Yeah. Great. See that? Then this piece goes on there. That piece didn't make it. There you go. Get in the hole. There it is. There's that one side. Now I don't have these rings yet, but I will find it. Let's get this together and see what it looks like. So there it is. All together, it's really starting to look like a ship. Look at this. It's nice, right? But there's 2 more pieces that right there, the little guns. Ooh, there goes Donatello. All right, you go on. I decided to make those pieces too. I saved some money. You can see I made this little piece right here that'll pop right in. It doesn't look exactly like the gun, but it's nice. These 2 little Lego pieces is all I used. I just kind of slid that guy in there. And then this gun, actually, I think I got to take them back apart again. Yeah, take them back apart again and slide them right in there. Go in that hole. So, here, let's do that with magic again. There, now you can see I got the guns back in there. Everything's all back in. And it's really starting to look like a Y-wing. I still need to get the cockpit and the glass and this gun on top. And the rings on the back. Also, the bomb would be nice to get that. But as you can see, the guns don't look too bad at all, don't they? I can show you what they look like side by side here. You can see that in that little picture. They're a little tapered on that, but in the originals. But mine are not a bad fix for just what I had. I got another little guy here that I just got. I've never had this guy, so I'm really excited to have them for the first time. This is a R5D4, which fits perfectly in this little hole. Now, I just need a pilot, which, they never made. Isn't that sad? But I have some other pilots that'll work. That might be later in another video. Like part 2, perhaps. We'll see what happens in part 2 when I get the other parts. So I don't know when it's going to be done, but eventually I will finish this and you will be there to see it. So until then, keep on buying retro toys. It's stupid, but that's what I got.